Minor scales. Minor scales are a different type of scale than a major scale, obviously. And we have three different types of minor scales that we're going to be dealing with in class. One is called the natural minor. The other one is called the harmonic minor. And lastly, the melodic minor. So we're going to do three of the minor scales here, and using the same key signature so you can see how they all differ. So the first one here we're going to do is D minor, and we're going to start with the natural minor. So, and all natural minor means is we do the D minor scale without changing it. We keep it in its natural state. So if we were to start here with the D minor scale, we would start on a D as our first note and draw each note until we get to the next D. So now that we have our notes, we have 8 of them. Note that the 8th note is just a repetition of the first note. We now need to write the flats or the sharps that are part of this scale. So D minor is the relative minor of F major. So if you were to look on a key signature chart, you would see that F major has a B flat, and therefore so does D minor. So we're going to write a flat in front of that B. That's our D natural minor. Now we're going to try the same key signature, D minor, where we're going to do the harmonic minor. So D minor, harmonic. So we'll write our 8 notes again. And it's always a good practice to number the notes, and that way you know exactly which notes need to be changed. Because in the harmonic minor, what we need to do is raise. This is attempting to be an upward arrow there. Raise the 7th note. So if we go to the make sure you have your proper flats and sharps. So I put my B flat again, and you go to the 7th note over here, and it happens to be a C natural because there's no sharp or flat in front of it, and we need to raise it. So we're going to raise that note by putting a sharp in front of it. And lastly, we're going to try D minor melodic. This time I'm going to write the label a little bit lower. You'll see why in just a moment. Because in the D minor melodic, or any melodic scale, the 6th and 7th notes are going to be raised on the way up, and on the way down they're lowered again. So if I were to go back here and draw my D, I need to go all the way back down because I need to show that the 6th and 7th notes change again. I'm going to just label these with their numbers so that we know which notes we're talking about. Alright, so if I were to put my B flat here, like I'm supposed to for D minor, I'm going to have to change that, because if we follow the rule we said at the bottom here, that on the way up 6 and 7 are raised. If I go here and I see that I put a B flat, it needs to be raised. And so to raise a flat note, we have to make it natural. So let's just undo those and now leave it natural. If I don't put anything in front of it, it's actually a natural note. I also need to raise the 7th note. Well, we learned in the harmonic minor that we needed to put a sharp on that 7th note, so we're going to do the same thing here and just put a sharp to raise it. Now on the way back down, we need to change them back to the original status, because essentially we're just going to lower them again 1 semitone. So if I were to lower that 7th note, it was a sharp on the way up, and now to lower it, I need to make it a natural. And then that B natural on the way up gets lowered to a B flat. And now we have the 3 different types of minor scales. So you can do this in any key signature. Just always want to make sure that you're being mindful of the sharps and flats in that key, and so that you change the notes appropriately.